Do it, Matt. Mr. Intro guy. Come on.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of Kibbetech. We're back.
It doesn't make sense.
Kibbetech episode. Back here at Kibbetech. What do I say? Okay. Ready? All right. We're back with another episode of Kibbetech. Shut up.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode here at Kibbetech. Today, we got these trailing arms that we showed you last week, and we're going to tell you who they are for.
So we're back, and these guys are finally complete. So
yeah, finally, you're telling me.
Yeah, so quite a bit of operations. You can see there's some holes up here that are threaded. We have all of the mounts done for all the brackets that will be mounted on here. You can see that little knife edge is finally done, and that is pretty thin, about ½ an inch, almost 2 inches on the top side, so it has a good wedge on it.
What does this do?
So yeah, so we have these holes here are actually a provision for sway bar mount, and these holes here are a provision for mud guard. These right here are basically some mounts so we could mount a lower skid plate that'll be coming in. So we have a few more little pieces coming in from the laser house, and then these will finish it up. Probably won't have any pictures of that, but we're gonna get these off to our friend Kyle. And
yes, these are going on Kyle LeDuc's Pro 4. If you don't know who Kyle LeDuc is, and you're probably living under a rock.
Yeah.
But B-roll. Show some B-roll.
Yeah.
So off season, they're doing a little re-engineering, revamp on the truck, and he wanted these, so he hit us up, and him and Matt went back and forth 370 times about little changes, and then
99 times.
Here we go. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
This number's 99.
99. Yeah. Yeah. So we did a lot of different iterations on the design, and really just worked with him on the exact style and cue that he wanted. Make sure that everything was, from a stress standpoint, really well done. In this particular project, we did a lot of FEA stress testing to make sure that it would work. We had a good understanding of areas that were culprit in this particular design. And like what Ryan said before, the axle actually mounts to the center, or this center uniball, and then the shock mounts to the back.
Over here.
Yeah, so it is a little unique in that respect.
And that gives a different stress to the whole trailing arm as well, instead of having like axle and shock here. So it's a whole different kind of stress that puts on it.
Yeah, way different style of motion ratio compared to like a conventional trailing arm where it's
I'll go grab one of our other ones. We
Yeah.
can compare. I actually think those are lighter than these.
Are they?
Yeah.
Might be, actually. Where's that right?
So here's like the same trailing arm like you've seen on shut up. Like here's the same trailing arms like you've seen on the Raptor Punisher and some of the other trucks we're building. So like this one would take our shock clevis, and shock would be there, axle there, little short motion ratio there, but this one's totally different with the shock pretty much being all the way back here. And we can't get into specifics on travel or measurements or anything, any geometry on these, but you can see they're pretty massive, pretty big.
Yeah, so overall, really cool project. Pretty stoked to help Kyle out with these arms. The fact that he trusted us to do this project for him, especially on his truck, this is actually going on his Pro 4. It's pretty cool to see a truck that we've seen so many times everywhere, being able to use something that we're able to design and manufacture to his needs, and see it go out there and get some abuse. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and he's got like 9 championships or something, like, I don't know, something ridiculous. He's won a lot of championships in the short course racing, so it'd be cool to see these things on the top of the box this year. What's up, Evan? What are you doing?
Shock mounts on this here truck.
White truck.
Trying to match the other side, passenger side, to the driver's side. Now that we got this all fitted and we're
Plus or minus like an inch, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Plus or minus like an inch.
Pretty much sorted here at this point.
Well, there you go. That was captivating and informative at the same time.
Where's the inches? More inches comments?
So yeah, shock mounts on the white truck. Something a little different from what the Tundra and the gray truck were. We didn't do the big tapered pocket window on this one, and we just did a tube from here to here. We just made this, he just made this real quick just to kind of see if we liked it or not, but I think we are going to run with that kind of simple tube gusset right there. And this style of this plate right here is pretty much identical to the other trucks without the window in it. So just a little more simple, straightforward on this truck. It is running a 3.0 IBP and a 4.0 7-tube bypass, 18-inch stroke and 20-inch stroke, and a 2.5 bump. This truck will get billet trailing arms, but we're running these for mock-up right now. So yeah, it's pretty much the last of the big step for the back of this thing is the shock mounts. After that, we got the oil cooler on the way from Triton, so we're gonna mount that thing in the back, and then pretty much just start doing a couple panels. We're gonna do the main panel behind here, and probably the back, and that'll probably be it for all the panels on this thing. Well, we might actually do one right here to kind of block off this area, so the dirt and stuff just doesn't come through there. But yeah, not getting too carried away with the paneling on this one. And yeah, let's get out of Evan's way so we can keep going. Stupid. All right, here's some pretty cool parts. We have the front shock package for the white ZR2. It's running a 2.5 internal bypass coilover as well as a 3.0 3-tube bypass. So we wanted as much control as we can get with the amount of room that we had. So we went with the IBP, and this is actually a swivel top reservoir, so we can actually clock this part any way we want it to get the reservoir hose to point wherever we need it. And if you look at the reservoir, it's running the big race series reservoir with the big compression adjusters. So tons of adjustment there, obviously a bunch of adjustment here, and valving in both of them for adjustment. We got the coils right here in a nice gloss black, nice dual rate. A couple parts for the rear. So all the new trucks, they have dual rear brake lines, so basically a line for each side. So running down the panhard bar, we got to run 2 lines kind of everywhere. So made this cool little bracket to hose clamp to the link, and then run a couple of stainless hard lines. Here's the tie rods for that for our ZR2 kit. You see pretty big setup. This is running a big 1-inch FK JMX 16 1T on the outer, and we make these misalignments, and they run a 1/2-inch bolt, so we get a bunch of angle out of them for misalignment. And then the inside just runs a regular 3/4 with our spacers. You look at the coating, it's like that bronze that we kind of showed you before. But next to all the black and gold on the shocks and everything, it's a really nice color. Looking forward to seeing all that together. And then we even went and took all the axle parts apart and got them all powder coated the same gray as like all the suspension. So yeah, a lot of detail in the coatings on that white ZR2. And then it's, yeah, I'll go check it out right now.
One nap later.
Back on the white ZR2, the back half is running our 3-link kit with the short course link with the panhard bar. I'll show you those brackets in a little bit. But we built a bed cage to house a 2.5 by 18 IBP coilover from King. So pretty much the same coilover as the front coilover, just a longer stroke. Then we went with the piggyback reservoir, and these are also a swivel top reservoir, so we can swivel the reservoirs wherever we need to mount them. And it's got the big finned reservoirs with compression adjusters, and we got them in the anodized black, and they always do the IBP fittings in gold, so it's kind of a nice little two-tone right there on the shocks. Bed cage we built. It's all TIG welded, 4130. It bolts onto the frame in a bunch of different spots. And then the wheel wells on these are kind of wide, and we kind of had to cut out a lot to get the bed cage in there with the bolt-in bumps. So we made a couple panels that bolt on, so there's not just a big hole there in the bed. And I got those line X to match, so that looks pretty cool. And then come around to the outside. Look under here, it's got the 2 5x4 bolt-in bumps that we always run. Of course, got all RPI 12-point hardware on everything. Gloss black coils. It's got our clevis ends with clevis adapters. And then these are our 48-inch short course links. So that's what we showed you before, like on all the other trucks. Raptor Punisher runs these in a 55. This is a 48. But yeah, rear end's just not in it right now. We had a little issue with the rear end. It wasn't straight. The axles weren't going in, so in the process of straightening that right now. So loud noises. But you see here, this is the panhard bracket. You see right here the double brake lines that come down, and then there'll be 2 soft lines off of this that go to the panhard bar that go to the rear end. And then it runs a single upper link bracket, which you can't really see from here. It's up there in the frame. Bailey's getting in the way too. You can see the bed cage bolts in, 3 bolts per corner, and the side bolts actually have a big threaded bung that's welded on the inside of the frame. And then these back 2 bolts, this one has a boss welded in the frame, and this is actually nut and bolted all the way through. And then the top ones are all threaded bungs welded to the top of the frame. So yeah, not just like a simple tap the frame or something like that. We actually weld some pretty substantial mounts in there. But yeah, this is our 3-link with the panhard bar kit that we sell for this truck. We've done it on another truck, the Blue ZR2 as well. But works great. It allows you to run the stock gas tank. Everyone always asks why a panhard bar with a single upper link. Well, that allows you to run the stock gas tank, and really don't get too much side-to-side movement with a panhard bar. This thing only moves about maybe an inch left to right throughout the whole cycle, so it's not even that bad. You don't even really notice it driving. But yeah, these are all laser cut, TIG welded on the bench, and then they just locate themselves on the frame. Did some extra plates on the frame here, limit strap tabs there, did a bunch of extra tube work to tie in all the mounts. And if you look underneath, there's a bunch of tube work under the bed as well to kind of keep the back of the frame from shifting at all. Got to get that rear end all squared away and get it bolted in here, and then the rear end of this thing will be on the ground. Yeah, we'll go check out the front. All right, back on the front of the white ZR2, you could see we kind of got some inner fender panels going in right now. So this is just 063 aluminum, and we're probably going to line X them because the front tire kind of fling up and beat everything up anyway. So we'll line X them, keep the sound down, and then yeah, the reservoir mounts here, shocks are there, another reservoir in the front. So we're probably going to do another big panel here in the front to kind of close that off, and maybe something to protect the back of the headlight. But just want to do something a little extra instead of keeping this thing wide open. I've been spending pretty much all week, been remounting everything under the hood. So that's pretty much all squared away. And now we're just on the final steps of getting all those panels done. So yeah, super close, excited to get this thing all done because it sure is a lot of fun with that 550 rear wheel horsepower. All right, back on the tube chassis, which is no longer on the table. All right, so we got the truck off the table, took off all the fixture plates except for those front 2. We're gonna add the other 2 on the front because we got another bulkhead we gotta put on there with the bulkhead extensions and start getting another chassis going. But let's talk about this one now. So we got everything I needed to weld that I could on the chassis table done. We pulled it off, brought it over here. We flipped it a couple times, got it on its side, welded a bunch, upside down, welded some other stuff that I couldn't get to. And yeah, so here it is. Got some overlay plates done on the front shock mounts. Got all the bottom plates here and all the filler plates all done on the front shock mounts. So this is all tied in, all sealed off, all nice. Yeah, still got to do the bump stop mounts on the front, but we will do that once we have all the suspension on here and swinging. But seats are on the way, still waiting on those, but we got the seat mounts all laser cut, so I got to get those in next. Moving along back here, I got the rear bump mounts done. That's what I set up the fixture for this tab set up on the table, and then got that all tacked on and welded the bottom mount in there. So this takes the bolt-on 2.5 by 4 inch bumps from King. So I got that all done. This is still just tacked in. I'm gonna cut this out and add tube clamps in it because we finalized our radiator setup that we're gonna run, and just to make it easier to get in and out of the truck, these will be removable. So we'll be able to take off, you know, from here to here on both of them, we'll remove. So yeah, we got the fuel cell for it. So next up, also we're gonna get that in there and start getting the hold downs and all the spare tire mounts set up for that. This being a race truck, it'll be a little different than some of the other stuff that you've seen us do. But yeah, really excited to see this thing off the table and on the ground. You can really kind of put it in perspective, you know, the size of it, and just without the table and fixtures in the way, you could really just see all the chassis now. So pretty cool, really happy with it. I welded this whole thing on my own, minus the fuel cell cradle area was already done, and Evan welded that, and the main parts of the bulkhead Evan welded, and then everything else I welded. So really happy. I haven't welded a chassis on my own in a very long time, so it was nice to get in there and just, you know, get the hood down and get some welding in. So excited for the next steps of this thing, excited to get it in the dirt this year and hopefully get some good testing in and maybe even hit a race. So we'll see how it goes. Well, there you go. That was captivating and informative at the same time.
No, don't. There's gonna be residual coolant in there. Don't do that.